Ken Jennings is a former Jeopardy! Champion who became the show's host. Drew Carey is a comedian/actor who became the host of The Price is Right. Both men replaced legends Alex Trebek and Bob Barker. Both men have become very good at their jobs. However, they have something else in common too. Here is what fans realized that Ken Jennings and Drew Carey have in common, outside of hosting game shows. Drew Carey has hosted The Price is Right since 2007, serving in the role for 17 years now. He replaced Bob Barker, who served as the host for 35 years. Ken Jennings replaced Alex Trebek as the Jeopardy! Host in 2021. Trebek hosted the show for 36 years. On Thursday, May 23rd, fans began to wish both Drew Carey and Ken Jennings a happy birthday. It turns out that both game show hosts were born on the same day, but 16 years apart. Drew was born on May 23, 1958, 66, and Ken was born on May 23, 1974, 50. Fans took to social media to wish both of them a happy birthday. Happy birthday at Ken Jennings. I'd have gotten you something, but I feel like you have everything you could possibly want already. A happy birthday to Ken Jennings, the original Jeopardy! GOAT. Happy 66th birthday, Drew. I hope you have an amazing day. Love is. Drew Carey. Happy birthday to the hilarious Drew Carey. Thanks for always bringing the laughs. There are some other huge stars with birthdays on May 23rd as well. This also marks the birthday of The Walking Dead's Melissa McBride 1965, Archer's Age, John Benjamin 1966, and Black Panther director Ryan Coogler 1986. Ken Jennings got his hosting role on Jeopardy! Thanks to being one of the best ever to play the game. When Alex Trebek was the host, Ken competed originally in 2004. He holds the record for the most consecutive wins with 74, and he has won $4.522 million in his multiple appearances on the show. After Alex Trebek died in 2020, Mike Richards took his place. However, he left due to outside controversies and Jeopardy! Replaced him with Ken Jennings and Mayim Bialik. Since that time, Bialik has left the series and Jennings is now the sole host of the show. Drew Carey is a different story. He was a comedian and actor who made his name on Whose Line Is It Anyway? And The Drew Carey Show in the 1990s. In 2007, he moved to game show hosting, including the show Power of 10. However, when Bob Barker announced his retirement in 2007, Carey agreed to take the position on that show. In the world of television, where many stars become household names, it's not uncommon for actors, hosts, and personalities to cross paths over the years. Yet, some connections are so unexpected and intriguing that they leave audiences questioning how two people from completely different worlds might be linked. This is exactly the case with Jeopardy! Host Ken Jennings and The Price is Right host Drew Carey, who recently revealed a fascinating and surprising connection that many viewers never saw coming. While both men have achieved incredible success in their respective fields, their paths have intertwined in ways that even they didn't fully understand until recently. The revelation of their shared connection has not only captured the attention of their fan bases, but has also sparked a deeper discussion about the hidden ties that bind the entertainment industry together. Let's take a look at this unexpected bond between Jennings and Carey, how it came about, and what it reveals about the unexpected relationships that often shape the world of television. The two icons, Ken Jennings and Drew Carey. Before diving into their shared connection, let's take a quick look at who Ken Jennings and Drew Carey are, and what made them famous. Ken Jennings, a name that is almost synonymous with Jeopardy!, made history in 2004 when he set a record for the longest winning streak in the show's history, with an incredible 74-game winning streak. Jennings' intellectual prowess and his calm, confident demeanor quickly won over audiences, turning him into one of the most beloved figures in the world of trivia. He went on to become the official host of Jeopardy! After the passing of the legendary Alex Trebek in 2020, a role he shares with Mayim Bialik. Drew Carey, on the other hand, is best known for hosting The Price is Right, a role he took over in 2007 after the legendary Bob Barker. But before his hosting career, Carey was a stand-up comedian and the star of the hit sitcom The Drew Carey Show, which ran from 1995 to 2004. Known for his unique sense of humor, down-to-earth personality, and signature glasses, Drew became a beloved figure on American television. His long tenure on The Price is Right has solidified him as one of the most recognized game show hosts in history. While Jennings and Carey have made their names in two different arenas, trivia versus game show fun, they share more than just fame. In fact, it turns out that they share a bond that no one could have predicted. The surprising connection, shared roots in stand-up comedy. At first glance, Ken Jennings and Drew Carey appear to be two very different figures in the entertainment world. Jennings, with his encyclopedic knowledge and quiet, analytical approach, is a far cry from Carey, whose comedic roots are in improv and stand-up. However, the surprise connection between the two stars lies in the world of stand-up comedy. Drew Carey's career began in the early 1980s when he took to the stand-up circuit, performing at clubs in Cleveland, Ohio, where he honed his skills as a comedian. He found early success, eventually breaking into national television in the early 90s. But what many don't realize is that before becoming a trivia mastermind, Ken Jennings also had some roots in the world of comedy. While Jennings didn't have the same kind of stand-up career as Carey, he did spend time doing comedic performances and even entertained the idea of pursuing a career in comedy. In fact, Jennings is known to have dabbled in humorous writing, including jokes and parodies that gained some recognition in the early 2000s. This shared experience in comedy, though brief for Jennings, helped build the foundation for the kind of quick wit and on-screen presence that both men display today. The unexpected part of this connection? Jennings and Carey both performed at the same comedy club early in their careers. The comedy club connection. In an intriguing twist, it was revealed that both Ken Jennings and Drew Carey performed at a legendary comedy club in Cleveland, Ohio, known as the Laugh Factory. The club was a hub for aspiring comedians in the 1980s and 1990s, and while their careers didn't overlap in a traditional sense, their shared history at this venue has sparked a great deal of curiosity among their fans. According to insiders, both men performed in front of similar audiences, testing their comedic chops on the same stage. While Carey was already a rising star in comedy by the time Jennings started, the two men likely shared the same circles, unknowingly working under the same roof at one point or another. Carey, with his well-known sense of humor and flair for observational comedy, was a regular at the Laugh Factory, while Jennings, still a college student at the time, occasionally dipped into the comedy scene to try his hand at writing humorous monologues and jokes. For many years, neither of the two stars knew that their paths had crossed in such a way. It wasn't until a recent interview where the two men got together to reminisce about their early careers that they discovered this shared history. Honestly, it was a bit of a surprise, Jennings admitted during the interview. I had no idea Drew was working the same clubs back then. We could have easily been on the same stage without knowing it. Carey, always a jokester, laughed and added, I'm sure he saw my act and thought, wow, this guy's got it. I better stick to trivia. The revelation of their shared history at the Laugh Factory has sent waves through the entertainment world. Fans of both stars, who were unaware of this connection, have been fascinated by the idea that two of television's most iconic hosts were in the same place at one point in time, even if their careers were on completely different trajectories. The influence of comedy on their hosting styles. What makes this connection even more interesting is how it has influenced their respective hosting styles. Both Jennings and Carey have honed a quick wit and sharp sense of humor that has become part of their signature appeal as game show hosts. Drew Carey, known for his deadpan humor and off-the-cuff remarks, brings a certain comedic energy to The Price is Right. His ability to make light of the situation, crack jokes with contestants, and keep the mood fun and lighthearted has contributed to the show's long-standing popularity. Ken Jennings, while not as openly comedic as Carey, shares a similar dry sense of humor that's evident in his Jeopardy! Hosting. Jennings often uses clever quips, subtle jabs, and ironic humor to break the tension and keep the audience engaged. His quick wit, likely sharpened by his experiences in comedy, helps him navigate the sometimes awkward moments on the show with ease. In fact, Many fans have pointed out that while Jennings and Carey's comedic backgrounds may not be immediately obvious, both men use humor in their own unique ways to create a more engaging and relatable environment for their viewers. Their comedy roots give them a distinct advantage as hosts, allowing them to connect with audiences in ways that go beyond the traditional game show format. The bigger picture: the power of unexpected connections. The revelation of the connection between Ken Jennings and Drew Carey serves as a reminder of how small the entertainment industry can be, and how unexpected connections can lead to fascinating discoveries. While these two men have become household names for very different reasons, their shared experience in the comedy world underscores the unpredictable nature of career paths in television.